Hi, my name is Jackie Murray with Ask a Tech Teacher. I'm your guide through these 32 lessons in the fourth grade structured learning technology curriculum. We're in lesson 10 today. It's the second in the unit on internet research. So you'll want to remind students of what they learned last week and maybe ask them what they learned and see what they remember, because this week will rely heavily on what they learned last week, and what they do in the project this week will, their ability to complete it will be informed by what they remember from last week. So definitely get them thinking and reviewing what they did last week, but you're not reteaching. You can't do that. You can't reteach every week. So you're expecting them to transfer that knowledge to this week's lesson, just as they would if they were an in-tech class. If they were home and had to research, they have to transfer the knowledge they learned from you and from their lessons in school to how to research on the internet. Couple words, they know most of these. Toggle, maybe toggle where you alt tab between two sites. If you're taking notes in one site on Google Keep and they're reading off of another website, then alt tab seamlessly switches you between two. Now I'm not sure what my alt tab is going to take me to, but let's do it. So I'm on this site and I alt tab. Oh, it takes me back to my recording program. So let's see if I can do something else. And I have alt tab and yeah, actually it did take me to another one, but it's on a different screen, so you don't see it. But you could see how that automatically took me to a different site. Alt tab will toggle between the last two sites, programs you were using. Good, really, really useful short key. Okay, so I can't find my document. This is something you want to go over a lot with students every time it seems necessary, and just remind them of how they find a document. Now, I don't remember if we have that in our last one. We don't, because it's not on finding documents. It's on other things. But another part of the book, there's a poster that shows how to find documents, where they might have saved it when they can't find it. So do review that, because you'll always have a couple students the second week into a project and they'll swear that someone stole it from their file folder. So you want to, usually, I'll tell you, 90% of the time that's just not the case. The other 10% probably still isn't, but I can't find it. Okay, so here's your essential question, your big idea. You're going to continue with the problem solving board. Students are still working on problem solving and making their presentations. You're going to ask them if they had any problems in class or at home, tech problems that you could talk about, any evidence for the evidence board to bring up. These are very quick, so they don't take a lot of class time, especially the evidence for the evidence board. You give them about 15 seconds to share their evidence, and then you move on. So they have to be prepared, and that's a really good skill for them to learn, that they've put some thought in it, they've prepared, they can get their ideas out coherently and pithily very quickly. Remind them homework is due at the end of the month, especially if this is the end of the month. Remind them how to use the internet safely, because we're going on the internet to research. So you don't have to do this poster per se, but cover how to be a good digital citizen and apply the proper rights and responsibilities. And here's suggestions there. Here's suggestions for searching. So you might go over these with students. They've covered them before, but just ask them what's a great way to limit the number of hits you get. This is credibility of the websites it hits. So you can ask them, how do you know if it's credible? So go over these with them. Let's see if that list is in theirs. Yep, they have it here. So they'll be able to say that, but if they say it, ask them why, what's that mean? So make them talk about it. They can't just read it there because it was in their workbook, if you're using workbooks, and just have them explain it to the class. Okay, you have a couple videos here. One uses BrainPop, one doesn't. So play those and then discuss it with students, because it'll give a good solid overview of research skills before we get started on this project coming up. And then review how most libraries evaluate websites. Okay, I think, oh, and really an important conversation too is, how do you know if a website is a hoax? So here are two really good examples. This urban legends, I encourage you to preview it first to make sure this is something you want to share with students. There's nothing wrong with it, but definitely there are some of the pictures on urban legends could be distressing to certain students. So you'll want to remind them when they go to a website, it's only that link, it's nothing else. This is a standard website used, but if they're fourth grade, they probably may not have seen it before. So take them here and ask them if they think this is a real website. Okay, why is it important that websites are reliable and credible? So then they're going to do some research. Now this is a sample. You'll create it, whatever works best for you, but you're going to have just a couple questions. You want the students to note what keywords they use to find the answers to the questions, and then the answer. So it's not just finding an answer. You want to know how they did it, so that it'll inform you what they're using to do these. And then when you review it with students, you can say, so-and-so used these keywords. Why did you use those? And why did someone else use those? And all the time when we do research, and teachers know this personally, you find something else that is of interest. So what else, as they were going through these and answering these questions, what else caught their attention and made them want to stop and read rather than fill out this sheet? Always an interesting question. So once they're going to work in teams, 2, 3 people or whatever you decide. And then once they fill that out, they're going to turn it into you, take a screenshot, or print the page, print that out. Let me see if it's on there. So it'll have to be a screenshot. They can annotate it with their annotation tool, fill it in, and then take a screenshot and share it out with you, and then erase that stuff. So this is all right. And their exit ticket, a Padlet, wall, or Google form or Google spreadsheet where they explain one element of a website that makes them trust that information there. What about it? They looked at the website, they say, yeah, this looks good. Well, why? And just have them put that on one of these places before they leave. Put the collection vehicle on your smart screen so students will see their answer pop up there, and once it's up there, they can leave. Here's for students who finished early, and I think I have a couple. This is a good piece to add to any lesson. Happens to be in this one, but for students to annotate this list and add words that they don't know on this list as they're researching. So anytime they're researching, they can either, if they can't find it in their decoding tool that you've provided, the digital decoding tool, then write it here and know they have to get back and find an answer to it. Okay, I think that's it. All right, guys. Have a great week, and let me know if you have any questions. Just write them on the discussion board and I'll get to you as quickly as possible. If you see someone else's question, feel free to answer it. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.